Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chong Yui's live video. So in this issue, I'll show you the detection and installation of our carbon and silicon analyzer CYY-LK2 furnace front fast carbon and silicon analyzer, and this consumable that it uses. So here's our handheld smelting high temperature agent, used to measure molten steel, iron, and copper. Then over there is our carbon and silicon analyzer. What about this one? It is relatively simple. He's in a test state right now. Is that we use the standard anti-inflammatory test state. So, it will first come out with a carbon equivalent. Hey, right. After the carbon equivalent comes out, when we test it, then it will measure its carbon content and its silicon content. Well, here, accessories, let me show you, this is it. This is a sampling spoon used to scoop hot metal, so we're going to, the iron handle is welded here. One welded is a connecting handle for sampling. Then, after scooping out the molten iron, pour into this test sample cup of ours. Pour into our test sample cup. Pour into this test cup. So it turns out like just here. It will automatically start analyzing. It will automatically display the results in about 3 minutes, then automatically print out the results. So the whole process is 3 minutes fully automatic. We just need to pay attention to one thing. It's this molten iron that's suitable for testing. Liquid iron is, for example, gray cast iron and ductile iron. And so on these cast iron classes. So it bit the temperature of the molten iron poured into the sample cup. We need to pay attention. For example, the molten iron bitten out is 1400 degrees. Pour it into this sample cup. It should be around 1500. Then we pour it into this sample cup at a sampling temperature of about 1500. It will automatically start analyzing. Now it's printed. This data, it is fully automatic. Let's bring the data and show it to everyone. We can see this data. First of all, the 1-3 on here is that we scooped the molten iron with the sampling spoon and poured it into the sample cup. It detects the temperature in the sample cup. The actual temperature in the melting furnace may also be above 1350, because after the bite, it has to be poured into this analytical sample cup. So it detects that the temperature in the sample cup is 13,000. It's degrees Celsius here. Well, these data will also be recorded when it analyzes them. This is the carbon content. CYY-L carbon equivalent is 3.5. And then, below are some of its parameters. The main thing is to look at this carbon equivalent 3.5. And then this is the carbon content, C%. This is 3.27. Then here is a 0.79 of its silicon content Si. Well, our carbon and silicon analyzer mainly detects the carbon content and silicon content. And now it's the first to come out of this carbon equivalent. Others, it also has an estimated HB hardness value. And this tensile strength. These are to give it a reference data. Like inside our phones. Then it has some of the most important functions of our internet as well as making phone calls, sending text messages and text messages. Then it has some other auxiliary functions. So these HB and M are equivalent to its auxiliary functions. And then there are some other parameters. These are all in English.